Hey everybody, it's Mama Two Wife One. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell, I guess from my name, I'm a mommy and I'm a wife. I'm also a content creator, a social media influencer. I am a friend. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a godmother. And yeah, I'm also a writer and editor. I do a few things that all have to do with communication. So write, edit, author, editing. I love literary editing. So if any of you are writing a book out there, I can edit it for you. If you are thinking about writing a book, I can help you with that process as well. So definitely hit me up. Just send me a little private message if you need my services. But we're not here to talk about that. We are here because we're at the midpoint of the last video where I talked about me having some health challenges and me kind of doing something different for the month of July. So I recorded the first video in the beginning of July. I said that I would come back in the middle to share my updates and then have a final video at the end of the month to talk about what's changed, what's different, all that stuff. Before I continue, if you have never seen me before, thank you guys so much for coming here. Please subscribe to my channel before you leave. For everyone else, make sure you like this video, share this video, and comments below. So to refresh your memory, just in case you didn't see the last video, for the month of July, I decided that I'm giving up a few things. My kryptonite, and I was just having a conversation with my mother about my children. I have a son and a daughter, and how my son is the sweets person. He's very much like his mother. He loves candy and he loves ice cream. Like he is heavy on the sweets, which I don't necessarily like for him because he's 15 and the acne is coming in really strong. I don't really want that for him at this stage of his life, but he has a taste for the sweet stuff. While my daughter has a taste for the salty stuff. She loves chips and crackers. And it's funny because that really matches their personalities as well. My daughter definitely got her attitude from her mother, neither here nor there. And then my son has a really sweet spirit. So it's very funny that it kind of works out that way. So for me, my kryptonite is ice cream and candy. So for the month of July, I'm not eating any ice cream. This will include like frozen yogurt, sorbet. I'm not having any cakes, pies, cookies, candy, and I'm not having any alcohol. So I've been good. It's July 15th and I haven't slipped up once. I bought a ton of fruit to make up for the fact that I wasn't really eating sweets, and the fruits actually worked out pretty well. At one time in my house, I had freshly picked. Took my baby's fruit picking. I had peaches and blackberries, and then I also had grapes, cherries, pineapple, strawberries, and I feel like something else. Pears. I had pears, and I had apple slices. So I've had a lot of fruit in my house, but the fruit has been getting eaten. It hasn't been going to waste, which is great. So I'm doing well with that. I also decided for this month that I'm going to start taking some vitamins. So I showed you guys this cute little bag. I still have it. This is from Black Girl Vitamins, and I only started with four. So I have collagen. As you can see that I have been taking it. These are all, I think these all have 60, it's a quantity of 60 in each jar. So you're supposed to recommend the things, take them twice a day. So this is collagen. This is lemon flavor. It tastes really good. It's a gummy. This is vitamin D3. So again, proof that I am taking it because it was all the way up here. So I'm halfway through my supply. Omega 3. Oops. Omega 3. And some probiotics. So I will say, taking these vitamins for 15 days, I don't feel that different. I think I have noticed that I have a little more energy because before during the day, I would crash around a certain time and I would just like need to take a nap, which isn't always good. But I was getting in the habit of just like, oh, okay, well, let me make sure I do my work and let me fit in my nap and I can do it during my lunch break and we'll be all good. And it's all wonderful. And it's like, I can't make a habit of doing that. And I don't, even outside of me having to work, like I don't want to have to be reliant on that. But I also understand with the age, sometimes you have to take a nap because things just tire you out. But I wouldn't even be doing anything. I'd be working from home and would just be exhausted for no reason. So I do have more energy. I'm not taking as many naps, which is great. TMI for the probiotics, it's made me a little more regular. So, I feel like that doesn't need any more. That doesn't need any more. So let me just keep it there. For the collagen is supposed to help with skin. I don't know if it's helping me at all. I have the fortunate blessing of being a black woman, and normally that means that we age backwards, I guess. Though I don't know what a person my age is supposed to look like, in quotations, supposed to look like. I'm 42 and I'll be 43 in November. I don't know what a 42, almost 43-year-old really looks like. So I don't know if I necessarily look young. I feel like I don't think my skin has changed. I don't feel a difference in my skin from the collagen. It's supposed to like tighten your skin, make it brighter, do all this other stuff. I personally don't see a difference, but regardless, I do feel more energy. And like I said, I am more regular in the bathroom. And, it's not definitely not hurting me. I don't have any side effects. I'm not in any pain. There's no itching. There's no rash. So it's definitely safe for me because I only speak for me and my body. It's safe for me. And yes, I'm going to continue for the whole month, but no real change, no real update there. But I did want to give you guys an update on one of the health challenges that I have been facing. And I think I talked about this in the last video, but for those who didn't watch the last video, I'll update you now. So I have had a chronic cough for the past 2 years. And if you watch some of my videos that I've posted this year, I would say in the past, mm, let's say 3 to 4 months, maybe, some of the videos that I posted when I'm talking about whatever, you would see me in the video coughing. Sometimes a lot, sometimes just be once or twice. But regardless, I've had this chronic cough for 2 years. Last year, I did see an ear, nose, and throat doctor who prescribed, well, he diagnosed me with silent reflux, which is similar to acid reflux, I guess, but acid reflux it impacts like heartburn and everything, which I didn't have. My issue is literally just with my throat because I'm dry coughing as much as I am, it's making my throat dry. It's definitely like making my throat a little bit sore. And it was just kind of not going away. He prescribed the medicine. It worked for a little bit, but then the cough came back and it came back worse. And my husband and my kids and my mother, they were all really worried about me. And I'm a person, though I am grown and though I try to do the right thing, I really didn't like going to the doctor. I'm not a fan of it. Let's go. Already saw a doctor in this profession, so I saw a different one. And this doctor was terrible. He was just terrible in his mannerisms and just not a great experience. He prescribed me medication for acid reflux. I was like, okay. And this is about 3 weeks ago. I started taking it, and probably within the first maybe 4 days, I noticed I was coughing a lot less. And then I would have some days where I didn't cough at all. So I'm like, oh, this is great. It's actually working. And he told me that it takes a while to like fully work. So I need to be on this medicine for at least 3 months. Well, again, it's been about 3 weeks. In the first few days, I was feeling okay. I was feeling better. I was like, okay, even though he's a terrible doctor from a personality standpoint, at least he knows what he's talking about and it's getting better. But probably about a week or so ago, I started coughing more, meaning if I wasn't coughing at all, I would like cough maybe once and I'd be like, huh, okay. And the next day I would cough twice. And it's kind of increased. So now I'm kind of where I was before I started taking medication. And I'm trying to be positive, right? I know that medicine, well, I'm gonna say I know. I don't know how medicine works for the most part. All medicine is different, and all medicine is going to impact people in different ways depending on the makeup of their body, right? So my first thought was, okay, well, maybe this is the kind of medicine where you start to see some good things and then it kind of drops, maybe kind of ebbs and flows a little bit until it evens out after a while. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I had a follow up with my primary care person and I'm telling him about the cough. And one thing that sucks, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but have you ever gone to the doctor for an ailment or for some kind of issue? But when you're in their office, whatever that issue is, for some reason goes in hiding, so they don't get to see it. So fortunately, the last time I saw my primary care person, I happened to cough in his office. This is the first time he's ever heard me during a coughing fit, and it happened to be during the time when he was already listening to my lungs. I was like, "This is great." He hears it. He knows I'm not making it up. Not that he ever thought that anyway. But it was great that he got to kind of see me having a coughing fit, got to see it in action. But at this last doctor visit, I also told him that I just received some information from my mother about something that my father has. Now, when you go to the doctor, they always ask you about your family history of certain things. And, I tell what I know, but obviously I don't know everything. And this information my mother just found out recently. So back in 2009, when I was pregnant with my first child, my daddy had open heart surgery. Now, what I remember is that, or at least from what I remember, I was told, is that he had an irregular heartbeat. And I guess it's something he had when he was younger. And, for whatever reason, at that moment, they needed to do the heart surgery. And I remember him coming home and he couldn't lift up anything that was heavier than 10 pounds. And my son was like 8 pounds, 9 ounces. So he was able to hold my first child. But I remember him walking through the house with his heart shaped pillow clutched to his chest. And that's how he had to like have that to walk. So I remember this time, my mother's reminding me of that. what she told me a couple of days ago or a few days ago was that the only symptom he had was this ongoing dry cough. And I was like, okay, that's definitely familiar. And then she found out recently that what he has is hereditary. So she was like, so next time you go to your doctor, make sure you let him know that because, not saying that this is what it is, but just in case, your doctor needs to know all your family history. I was like, okay. Now I'll say this. Even though coughing for 2 years sounds bad and it sounds, serious and oh my gosh, what is it? Blah, blah, blah. I've never really been nervous about it. I'm like, okay, I took it as just another thing I'd have to live with, right? I live with really bad cramps. I live with bleeding really heavily during my periods. I live with like headaches. It's like, okay, this is just what I'm going to live with. So the cough, I just thought it was one of those things. So that's why I kind of brush it off like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm not contagious. It's whatever. But hearing that was the first time I got not worried, I guess, but just kind of got a little freaked out. So I told my doctor, and he said, so basically, he wants me to do a few things. I need to get a chest x ray first, then I need to see a pulmonologist, and then I need to see a cardiologist. So I'm going to do the chest x-ray today. I just didn't have time for it because I had a lot of work to do. So I'm going to try to sneak away tomorrow during my lunch break to get a chest x-ray. But I made the appointment for the pulmonologist and the cardiologist, so I'm proud of myself for that. For the cardiologist, the note is family history of mitral valve regurgitation, family history of ischemic heart disease. So seeing that in writing is a little daunting for me. And I was talking to one of my best girlfriends about it today, and what I basically told her was, I'm trying not to be the old version of me. The old version of me in her 20s and 30s, worried about absolutely everything. And I immediately jumped to, not necessarily bad conclusions, but I immediately jumped to the final scenario of a situation. Instead of looking at a situation step by step, like first I'll do this, then I'll call this person, then I'll take this medicine, I would immediately just very quickly in my head, like, okay, what is the final thing that could happen? So, of course, the old version of me would take all this information, all these tests that are being ordered for me, and would immediately think, okay, so basically, I'm probably going to have heart surgery. And what does that mean? Am I going to go through with doing it? Am I going to try to ignore it? Like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, nope, I'm not letting my mind go there. My biggest thing is being obedient. I made the appointments. I'm going to do the chest x-ray. After I do those things, nothing else for me to do because the tests or the appointments that I have for the pulmonologist and the cardiologist, one is later this month and one is later in August. So I have some time before my doctor has like all the information. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep taking the medicine that the horrendous doctor prescribed for me. I'm going to take that once a day as instructed. But other than that, there's not much that I can do. And out of all of this, though I haven't focused on out of all this, it would be nice to have an answer. Why have I been coughing for 2 years? What has caused this? It sucks, but it's good to know that this could potentially be something hereditary because I have two children, one of whom has several health challenges. And unfortunately, she's the one that kind of gets everything. So if I pass it down, I know it's going to be her because my daughter's the one who seems to kind of get all the stuff. And I don't want that for her, obviously, but I guess it's better to know. But I don't know. So this is where my mind is. On one hand, I do want to have answers, and if I can find an answer amongst all of these professionals, all of these specialists, if I can have that final answer that this is what it is, no matter what the next steps are, what the treatment is, whatever, knowing it, I feel like will give me some relief. But then on the flip side, what if I go through all of this, see all these people, and then I still don't have an answer? Like I'm the type person, again, I'm not a big fan of doctors. So after I've seen all these people, we done spent all this money. Do I really want to continue down this path of seeing even more specialists? I honestly do not. I don't. I feel like after all of this, if there's still no answer, I feel like that would be a waste of time. And I know there's probably a very immature way of thinking. Own that. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to apologize for that. But I don't like doctors. And I feel like I've done enough. Like I have done the grown up thing and made these freaking appointments, and I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be honest about what's going on. I'm going to let them poke, prod me, do whatever they need to do. I'm going to do all of those things. After that, though, after my appointment with the cardiologist in August, I think it's like August 22nd or something. After that, y'all need to be able to tell me something. And if you can't, then what the freaks we doing here? So yeah, that's kind of where my mind is right now. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I've made the appointments. After I do the x-ray, I'm not going to think about this anymore. I'm just going to live my life, continue to take my medicine, continue to drink my water, and just really hope for the best. So that's where I am right now in my health journey. That is probably, not probably, that is the most major thing that's going on in my life right now. I'm not scared. The coughing that I do doesn't prohibit me from doing anything at all. It's not contagious, which is great. It's not debilitating at all. I think they just call it chronic because I've been doing it for so long, but literally I'm fine. I no other part of my body is impacted at all. So the only thing that bothers me is like right now, I can feel the soreness of my throat. It's dry, it's scratchy. There are times when I'm singing, I can't hold a note really long. But fortunately, I'm not a singer in, professional sense. I sing in my car, I sing in my house, I sing when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning. I'm that kind of singer. So me not being able to hold a note, it's not that that's gonna stop me from getting a check. And nobody's paying me for my vocals. So we're good. We're safe. But yeah, that's where I am. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. That's how we do it. So July probably 30th. I'll do the last video. July 31st, I'm going to be traveling. So July 30th, I will do the final video of what's going on, what I'm feeling. By that point, I would have gotten a chest x-ray and I would have seen the pulmonologist. So I will let you guys know what happens at those appointments. I'll let you guys know about the vitamins if I'm, feeling any different, if it's anything new is happening. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, for following me on this journey. Again, make sure you like this video, share the video with other people who may be having their own health journeys. Make sure you comment below, especially if you guys are on a health journey or if there are foods and drinks you're avoiding. Please let me know. I think that'd be great. Um, what else? Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace.